Welcome to another fantastic episode of Simone Butterfly Fashion Investigator. Today we are on location at the museum, a premium boutique that caters to enthusiasts who use fashion and art as a source for inspiration. The owner and founder of the museum is Mr. LeGreg Harrison, a Washingtonian, an art advocate, and a creative entrepreneur. The museum is located at 2014 Rhode Island Avenue, Northeast. Today on Simone Butterfly Fashion Investigator, we will once again explore Washington, D.C.'s creative side. Our special guests include Melissa Michelle, a makeup artist who worked with an actual chemist to create her own bespoke line of highly pigmented makeup. Elena Crusoe, a jewelry designer, artisan, and owner of Elena's Design Studio, who has a knack for transforming semi-precious stones and naturals into exceptional jewelry. And because we love all things local, we are excited to spotlight Vintage and Charmed, one of DC's most expansive vintage boutiques located on Good Hope Road in Southeast. And we will sample French cuisine at the historic Chez Billy restaurant in Petworth. Here in the Diamond District, we believe that fashion is innovation, and innovation should be protected. Stay tuned, darlings, for more fashion, more What the Cupcake Fashion Law Faux Pas, and more local fashion innovators. Today we're speaking with fashion innovator Melissa Michelle, who has her own line of cosmetics, Melissa Michelle Cosmetics. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So glad that you're here. So now we know that there are a ton of makeup lines throughout the landscape in the marketplace. What makes your line of Melissa Michelle Cosmetics so special?
The thing that makes Melissa Michelle Cosmetics so special are the magic sticks. Now the magic sticks are actually cream sticks that can be used as both concealer and foundation. It's oil free, the formulation is cream to powder, and the colors are specifically formulated to match women of color. So a lot of women struggle so hard with finding products that match their complexion, that aren't too red or too ashy or too orange. So these colors were specifically formulated for deep complexion skin tones. So although it's a wide range, you can easily find a color that matches you.
Okay, well what's fascinating to me is the fact that you're talking about these undertones and that you actually worked with a chemist in order to perfect yours. What was that process like?
The process was complicated because of course there are a lot of different ingredients that are involved with creating a makeup line, but for me the one thing that I wanted to make sure of was that the product was healthy for the skin and also that the colors look great both in person and on camera, because a lot of times you'll put your makeup on in the mirror and then you'll go out with your friends and you'll take those selfies or those pictures and sometimes you'll look ashy or cakey.
Like, what happened?
And like, well, I didn't look like that when I walked out of the house. So this makeup line is great because it looks good both on and off the camera.
Okay, well that's fantastic. I know that a lot of lines right now are claiming that they pop on dark skin or just women of color in general. Do you find that it is application that makes the difference, or is it actually the product? Is it actually the product itself?
I would have to say a little bit of both, but definitely the product. The product matters because a lot of times with women of color, we have multiple undertones in our skin. It's not just one color all over. So with the magic sticks, they're small enough where you can keep them in your bag, and also you can mix and also layer the colors. So I always like to use 2 colors for every complexion because you can bring out the highlights of the skin and you can cover anything from blemishes, dark circles, discolorations on the skin with your warmer tones.
Sounds like magic.
Sounds like magic.
Right. So what is trending right now in makeup? I mean, I've seen a lot of color.
Yes.
And I've seen women of color wearing a lot of color.
Yes.
Which is really, to me, to be quite amazing. What are some of the other trends going on?
The number one trend right now in makeup is contour. You probably hear so many people say contour. How do I contour my face? So contouring is all about sculpting and bringing out different features in the face. And the magic sticks are great for that because you can actually use them to contour, as well as when I say contour, I basically mean sculpting the face. So accenting your cheekbones or, you know, slimming your nose or making it appear to look a little bit straighter. And
illusion.
It's the illusion. And that's what makeup is all about. The mantra for my business is beauty is my duty, because I feel like, you know, every woman has a beauty about themselves, and makeup should enhance, not necessarily always cover their face.
Right. So I think every doll has like their makeup arsenal.
Yeah.
This is probably half of my makeup arsenal, right? But I'm trying to tell you, and then though I have to then figure out, this is what I'm going out with.
Yeah.
So it's like this is mission impossible.
Uh-huh.
So how do I? What are the items that need to go in the little bag? The essentials.
Okay, I can completely relate to this because whenever I'm going somewhere, I always like to carry a smaller bag. So some of the essentials that every person must have whenever they're traveling with makeup. Number one, lip color. You cannot go anywhere without having your lip color.
And that looks like shiny lip color. Is that
This
like
is shiny lip color.
Like a gloss?
Yes, it is a lip gloss. This is one from my makeup line. It's like a nude, shimmery, champagne color. Great for every day. Yes, it can work on all complexions. You definitely want to have some lip color. You don't want to go out with your lips dry, flaky, chapped, ashy, not cute. So lip color is an essential. The next thing that you want to have, the magic sticks. Now, why is this so great to have? Because you can actually use this for spot treatment. So say if you don't want to cover your whole face with makeup, if you just want, you know, just to cover up under the eyes, because that is what makes the biggest difference on the face. You can pop this out, apply a little bit. You can even blend it with your finger if you're on the go, just really quickly.
So it's like a concealer. It's like a concealer stick.
Exactly. It's like a concealer stick, and also you can use it for full coverage. So this is great to have on the go. And the last thing that I love, one of my new favorites right now, is bronzer.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of people don't understand the difference between blush and bronzer. So of course with blush you have a lot more color, like pinks, reds, sometimes even plums, but bronzers normally mimic more natural tones. So you can actually use this for the cheeks just to add a little warmth to the complexion, and you can also use it for sculpting the face too. So if you want to really pop the cheekbones, you can put a little bit right on the cheekbones. If you want to, you know, contour your head or your nose, you can also use it for this because it's matte. If you notice, it doesn't have any shimmer.
It doesn't have shimmer. It doesn't have little gold flecks in it, which is what people always seem to think of when they think of a bronzer.
Yes.
But every day is not a disco day.
Every day is not a disco day.
Every day you can.
Some days it's a natural I need to run to the store day. So you still have that polished look when you're going out. So these are some of my favorite items to keep on the go. They're small, they're compact, and they're easy to use.
Perfect. Well, we've truly enjoyed speaking with you today and learning more about your line. So where can we find your line? Where do we find Melissa Michelle Cosmetics?
So you can find Melissa Michelle Cosmetics on my website, which is www.melissamichelle.com. Or if you're in the DC area, you can also visit Basic Necessity Salon, and you can purchase the products there, and also you can try the products there. So
wonderful. We're so happy to have you here. We know that fashion is innovation, and so it's important that we recognize the achievements of superstar stars like yourself.
Thank
Melissa
you.
Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. A few years ago, trolling through Lynette's Vintage and Charmed warehouse in Forestville, Maryland required a hearty breakfast and comfortable shoes. Today, though, you can find Lynette and her amazing stockpile of mod fashions, retro jumpsuits, and gala gowns snuggled inside the newly renovated Anacostia Art Center in Southeast Washington. The boutique is merchandised like the closet of a Hollywood starlet, with gently worn vintage pieces nestled next to garments bearing new tags from Alice and Olivia and even Rag & Bone. Still, the most exciting feature of Vintage and Charmed is its charismatic owner, Lynette Miss Fifi McNeil Voss, who knows her inventory and takes pride in anticipating the needs of her clientele. Vintage and Charmed, located at 1231 Good Hope Road, Southeast Washington. Darling, you're going to shop. Why not spend your dollars shopping locally? Support your independent retailer. Miss Elena, what a treat it is to be here with you today. I adore your studio. It is so beautiful.
Thank you, Marissa. Thank you.
So you've been in business designing jewelry for over 20 years. That is fascinating. How did you get your start?
Actually, this creative endeavor really started as clothing design.
Really?
Yes. I was in business with one of my sisters creating ready-to-wear.
Okay.
It was okay. And at that time, I was working also in a law firm.
Been there, done that.
And it did not fit me, really. So I was there to make a living.
Yes, understood.
Actually, on a daily basis, I was sitting at my desk thinking about what I was going to create when I got home.
Right.
You know,
Artisan that you were.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
I know that. But then as time went on and we're creating clothing for people ready to wear, whatever, we were producing a fashion show. And we needed accessories. We needed someone like what I'm doing now to come along and accessorize our garments.
Of course.
No such person to be found. So, just like me, whenever I need something, and by the way, this is taught to me by my mom, who says, you can't find it, don't always think of going to the store, you make it.
Make it, right.
So then, absolutely. So I started just grabbing jewelry parts and, you know, pearls for the most part, but then other elements. And I thought, let me see what I can do.
Right.
Oh my God. It was like a runaway train after that.
Oh, wow.
I began to create more and more and more jewelry. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of just doing what I could at the time. And then everybody said, oh, who's doing this fabulous jewelry? I said, what? What fabulous jewelry?
That's wonderful.
So then I began to just love it. I fell in love with jewelry. I told my sister, no more sewing. This is me. I found myself. So then I left the law firm, opened the studio. The rest is history.
It's a good story.
Yes.
So tell me about some of the materials that you use. I'm understanding you're doing semi-precious and some naturals.
Yes. Naturals as in the exotic woods and horn and organic pieces. But my real true love in what I really create is semi-precious, amethyst being at the top of my list of favorites. But then, you know, I use corals and I use crystal.
Oh, I love crystals.
Crystals.
Anything sparkly for me.
Yes, crystals are definitely sparkly.
So right here we've got some beautiful pieces that you've made. Can you tell us about why maybe these are your favorites, or what? If there's is there a story behind any of these pieces?
The story behind the tassel, the side tassel, for instance, and I'm holding one here. Yes, this is pearl. Now these are dyed. They're pearl, several strands. This is pearl, freshwater, natural pearls.
I love this. This is giving bride or...
So now the side tassel collection really came about by accident. I was creating something and it just didn't fall the way I wanted. Alternatively, the side tassel came and then I loved it.
I love it.
So now I have worked this into the rest of the showroom as a collection on its own. These are nuggets. These are tumbled nuggets. The bowl here has tumbled nuggets, but those are mostly for just holding in your hand, put them in your purse or whatever, because they have such wonderful energy, healing energy.
Really?
So then these are drilled. They're the same cut, tumbled, and so I thought, let me hang them on a piece.
So we're here now in the studio, in the back room area, where we're seeing exactly what goes on behind the scenes. And Ms. Elena, what are we going to make today?
As you can see, I have already put some materials out. So I thought I would work on this purple jasper piece.
It's beautiful.
It's very, very brilliant. Now, this is jasper, but it is color enhanced. The deep purple is the deep purple is because they've heat treated it to get vibrancy.
Okay.
This is also jasper, and now this collection is going to be similar. As you can see, it had tassel there. Graduating, same thing with this. So now I thought I would.
Okay, so you're saying we're gonna add some tassels to this?
So we can take this now, and what happens is I would attach it in the middle here, and then these will hang down. Yeah, so it will look sort of like that.
Elena's design studio is located at 1107A Spring Street in downtown Silver Spring. See, you don't ever have to go without your sparkle and shine. Just pick up some baubles and DIY, darling. Thanks for joining us. They say if you live long enough, you will witness fashion trends come and go and come again. What's old can easily become new when a modern perspective is applied to refresh a design, a process, or even an institution. Between 1956 and 1978, Billy Simpson's upscale restaurant attracted a prominent crowd of intellectuals, professionals, entertainers, diplomats, politicians, and government officials who gathered together to socialize and discuss complex issues of the day. Flash forward 30 or so years, and Billy Simpson's, renamed Chez Billy, continues to provide DC residents and local politicos with exceptional yet reasonably priced cuisine and artisanal cocktails. In today's episode of Capital Delights, I have the pleasure of speaking with Andrew Runkle, General Manager of Chez Billy. What a pleasure it is to speak with you today. Thank you so much for agreeing to meet with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. So we're here sitting here with these wonderful cocktails that you prepared for us. Both of these are called Nina Simone, is that right?
That's right.
So tell me what's in these.
So this is Plymouth Gin, Bonal, which is a quinine liqueur, and Luxardo Maraschino, which is an Italian liqueur, and then a little bit of lemon juice. It's a sort of our take on a classic cocktail known as the Bon Mot, and we rearranged the ingredients a little bit and changed the name to the Nina Simone in a way to pay homage to the people who came before us here and sort of part of the history of this establishment.
Oh, yes, and I have a special love for Nina Simone. Anyone who knows me knows that. But there are other wonderful names of different drinks. I know you said another one was called the Red Fox.
Yeah,
Give me one more.
The Red Fox we have, and then one of my favorites is called the Belle Époque, which is a nice play on words. The Belle Époque was a period before World War I in France, and we used bell peppers to infuse the gin. So, yeah, it's a nice little tie-in.
Yes. Wonderful drinks here. And we're sitting, it's a beautiful day, and so we're sitting outside on the balcony, and behind us you'll see a wonderful garden. This is the Chez Billy garden, and here they're growing all kinds of wonderful things that they use in their cuisine. So Andrew, tell us a little bit about what's here.
Sure. We have a bunch of herbs and some flowers for color, but some of the flowers are also edible. We have a couple borage plants in here. We can use those for our soups and things. The flowers are bright blue and very, very pretty. And then we have some of your basic French kitchen herbs, tarragon, sage, basil, mint, thyme. So we use these in our food and our drinks when we can, and it's a nice little garden.
It's wonderful, and they make it look so easy. Everything is lush and growing beautifully. So when you think about this particular restaurant and the fact that it was open for a while and then closed in the late 70s, then it reopened again 4 years ago. I guess that was around 2012.
Yes.
Tell us about the new updated menu, because now you're serving classic French cuisine.
That's right. So our chef, Brendan, came from Marvin, which is another restaurant in our group, another great place.
Yes.
And he always wanted to open a classic French food restaurant. It's his forte and what he wanted to do. So he came here and opened it to I would say pretty big success for our neighborhood. A lot of people in the neighborhood very excited about us being here. And about 2 years ago, we expanded and opened a place in Georgetown called Chez Billy Soude. He went there, and his uncle came down from New York to become the chef here. All in the family. It works out good. They're able to put their heads together for menus and collaborate on new ideas. So it's nice.
That's great. So what's really fascinating to me is hearing you say all of these are local places owned by the same group. Tell us a little bit about that collaboration.
Sure.
How did that come about?
So it's the Hilton brothers. There's Eric and Ian Hilton, and they own sort of a growing group of restaurants in Washington. It all started, I think, with Eric's Thievery Corporation, which was a DJ group.
Like a DJ, like a...
Yes, he's a very talented DJ. I've had the pleasure of seeing him a few times. He's quite good.
Wow.
He opened 18th Street Lounge, which is a really cool institution. It's one of the coolest places in town. And from there, Marvin opened at 14th and U, next to it Gibson. Since then, his brother Ian has expanded east to Brixton at 9th and U, El Rey, and now the Chez Billy's.
Wow, you guys have quite a conglomerate.
Yes, yeah, growing rapidly.
That's wonderful. These are DC places. We invite you to all visit them. Let's talk a little bit about the wonderful building in and of itself. This is a historical designation, right? It's got a historical designation.
Yes.
So when did that happen?
We got historical designation in 2009. The building itself got designation in 2009, so before we even opened.
Wow. That's not easy to get.
No, it's not, and it's a result really of how important this place was. Billy Simpson himself, who was the proprietor of the establishment, was very passionate about anti-war causes and, of course, civil rights movement, and this was a major place for some of the upper echelon of people in African American society and politics and entertainment. And with that being such an important place, the city decided to recognize it, and we're very proud to be here. It was an important part of the community then, and I think we're trying now to really be involved in the community here in Petworth and kind of keep that tradition going.
All right, that's great. And when you come to visit Chez Billy's, you're going to see some beautiful artifacts around. The bar is gorgeous. The chandelier that's hanging up. So you have an interior designer that comes and selects these things?
Yes, we do. And he has put it together, as well as some of our other places, as a collection of things that he's gathered from all over the place. Just from talking to him about it, I know some things have come from rural France, other things have come from thrift shops or whatever he's found. But he has an amazing eye for detail and design, and he was able to put together a lot of the aesthetic that you see here. The bare bones of the place, though, because it's historically designated, we don't touch, and a lot of that shines through as sort of the history.
I totally see that. You have a sense of history, and there's a real wonderful feeling when you come here. So
Yeah,
I
I think
enjoy
so, too.
visiting. So, well, thank you very much for sharing Chez Billy with us. We have enjoyed speaking with you, and thank you. Chez Billy's is located at 3815 Georgia Avenue Northwest. I invite you to visit for a Nina Simone cocktail, classic French cuisine, and a lesson on DC history, because local tastes better. Thanks for joining us. Yoo-hoo, darlings. A few weeks ago, I received a really urgent call from a longtime friend and client. For the sake of this example, I'm going to refer to my client as Devin. Now, Devin works as the editor and owner of an upstart fashion magazine located just outside of Washington, D.C. It turns out that Devin hired a freelance illustrator to create an original drawing for his magazine. Now, this happens all the time. Yet, even though Devin paid an illustrator for the drawing, he was now demanding more money. The illustrator was actually seeking 4 times more than the original price. What the cupcake? Why would the illustrator contact Devin seeking more money after he had already been paid? What type of leverage did he have over Devin? Well, after speaking with Devin further, I learned that the agreement that he made with the illustrator failed to include a vital clause. The agreement didn't include language that would require the illustrator to give Devin exclusive rights to use his drawing. This means that even though he'd paid for the drawing, the illustrator could still continue to use the drawing or even sell it to another person. Under copyright law, the general rule is that the person who creates an original work, in this case the original drawing, owns the copyright and as a result has the right to not only copy the art, but the right to sell, distribute, and display the art. When the freelance illustrator created the drawing for Devin, he became the owner of that copyright, and as the owner, he could sell the illustration to Devin and then turn around and sell the same art to someone else. If Devin wanted to be the only one who could display the illustration exclusively, he should have entered into a work-made-for-hire contract with the illustrator. A work-made-for-hire contract overrides copyright laws and transfers the copyright from the original artist to another. Notice that if there is no assignment in writing, then the copyright remains with the original artist or illustrator. And this rule applies to any artist, including a photographer, a writer, art director, composer, or even advertising agency. With a looming deadline and a limited budget, Devin had few options. He could proceed with using the illustration he already purchased, even though he didn't have exclusive rights to it, or he could pay additional funds, in this instance 4 times the amount he originally paid, and purchase the copyright in the illustration. Today's What the Cupcake moment comes all the way from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. The lesson learned: if you are an artist, you have special privileges. In most instances, you own the copyright in your art unless there is a contract to the contrary. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode of Simone Butterfly, Fashion Investigator. For more fashion adventures in the nation's capital and beyond, meet us on the web at www.simonebutterfly.com and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. My name is Simone Butterfly, your fabulous freelance fashion investigator. Here in the Diamond District, we believe that fashion is innovation, and innovation should be protected. Thanks for joining us.